Good evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order at this time, please. Turn all cell phones, electronic devices off or vibrate. And Mr. Fuentes, would you please lead us in our prayer and pledge this evening, sir?
Lord, we thank you for another day you have given each of us. We thank you for all the blessings that you have given us. We ask to bless all the people that are dealing with some kind of sickness, be with our troops overseas, and we ask to bring peace in this world. We ask also to bless us as a council to make the best decisions we can for the city of Ballinger. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. But allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. All right, consider approval of the minutes of the March 20th, 2017 meeting. Got time to review.
I make a motion we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, visitors who are not on the regular agenda will be given the opportunity to address the council on any subject at this time. But I don't see anyone that's not on the agenda.
I would like to add a note, maybe.
Wait a minute. Yes, sir.
Sometime down the road, I looked into establishing a message alert system for the city of Ballinger. I've gotten some prices on it and continue to get some more prices on it, so the next available time, into May, June, I'd like to propose a couple of items. Get different companies, there's 3 or 4 different companies out there to do it, and see if y'all can approve one and get one going.
How's it going to work? What do you,
It's just a text messaging service, pretty much, so.
from citizens to y'all?
Or not from us to, from the city base, either fire department, police, city hall. You know, if we had to send out a water boil notice, anybody that signed up for it gets an email, text message, a call.
Okay.
You can record your voice on it, and anybody that doesn't have a cell phone, you know, gets a voice call.
Okay.
Wasn't there legislation that you have to, the larger cities have to do that anyway, to have to notify everybody via?
Yeah, an email address system, and it's an email database, and it would require us to email them notifications for rate increases, things of that nature. It's not used exactly like this, but it could be.
Yeah, I mean, we can pass out, you know, tornado warnings, fire warnings, you know, if we have a fire, water fire or something, we can address that situation, or missing kids, you know, active shooters and stuff like that. So, I mean, it can also be based on, you know, a water boil, or, you know, the fire department has a meeting, public meeting or something like that. Or chamber can also use it, saying we have an ethic parade and downstairs. So.
Or the train has got the brakes locked and shut down for 2 hours.
You might check with Robert Lee. I don't know what system they're using, but it's a phone call
Yeah.
that they use.
I know San Angelo is just linked to Nexel, which is one of the companies I looked at, Nexel 360. I've also looking into getting them or a quote too. So
There's several on Nexel.
yeah,
So that's separate and individual cops.
Yeah. it's going to be a separate deal, so to speak.
Thanks, sir. All right, discuss and take action to pass a resolution to approve the annual Ethnic Festival Parade on April 29th, 2017. Ms. Cameron?
Yes, 10 a.m. Saturday morning, the 29th. We are changing the route due to the Lone Star Market being, having the Broadway and 6th on Park shut down, because we normally line up on 6th and Railroad. We are going to run it in reverse, and we're going to line up at 10th and Railroad, and we're going to go to Hutchins and go down Hutchins to Broadway, and then come up Broadway to Railroad, and then back to 10th. So we're going to cut it off a block early instead of going to 6th Street. or starting at 6th and going to 10th. We're just gonna go from 10th to Broadway. And that will only close down a portion of the traffic to the Lone Star Market for just a matter of minutes, basically. However long it takes to get down there and get the parade through, and it won't, you can still enter from 6th Street to the Lone Star Market and come around the back. Instead of, we thought about just going ahead and continuing to use 6th Street, but if we did that, then we could possibly shut down the traffic for 2 hours around Lone Star Market, and they're gonna open about the same time the parade starts, which will be a little chaotic, so. We're just gonna run it in reverse. There's not any businesses or anything set up on 10th and Railroad. Maybe a better solution, and maybe something we decide that's probably works better than what we've been doing, because we're not getting in the middle of traffic and a grocery store and everything else. So we're trying to get that word out, that we will run it in reverse and line up to 10th and Railroad. That's it. It's only changes.
Cool.
Chief Maresch is aware of it, and
I think the only, with setting up down there, we'll need some more barricades than normal, but I'll have a map to give to Brian, say there's barricades here, and here.
and I've already requested barricades with Scotty. I know that some of them will be used over at Lone Star Market, but ask for them to reserve us some, so we can, block off the street early.
Is it gonna increase how many people need to be on duty to do that? Or
No,
is it gonna be about the
it's gonna be about the same.
same?
Traffic, diverting traffic wise is a little different, but same amount of people, pretty much.
Okay, so we'll reduce the bottleneck that we could cause over congestion.
Make a motion to approve the request for the ethnic festival parade on April 29th, 2017.
Second,
Second that.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, here to take action to accept the 2016 fiscal year audit report from Gayla Fullerton. See if I got the name right.
Everybody has a copy of the audit report in front of them. And then also a letter with recommendations. I will say that Brian and I have gone over all of these recommendations, and they are recommendations. That doesn't mean it's something that has to be done. Just something that might help the function of the city and things run a little bit smoother, help protect the city, I think, better than some of the things that are going on now. So the main highlight in the audit report is on page 4, the financial highlight, where the city has $9,028,936,000 in assets and $565,000, $970, let me say that right, $565,970 in cash or readily available cash, which is up about $124,000 from last year. So, any questions?
These recommendations look good. And these are.
Yes. I like the thoroughness that Gayla and Paul Thomas did. They spent about a week down here.
Yeah.
Going through everything. They've identified some potential areas that we can improve some things, such as the airport has a need to upgrade our gas situation up there. But all in all, I was very pleased with their performance and obviously with the audit.
I think these things might be painful to implement, but once you get them implemented, they'll get easier than anything.
Right,
Yes,
it's a process.
yes.
But most of them are very little cost. Some of them, there is a cost involved, so that's something I'll just have to weigh in and figure out if the cost outweighs the need.
In fact, if y'all approve the audit, we're going to start cross-training office staff this week. That's something we're going to start immediately.
Yes, that's important.
Now, if we approve the audit, are we approving all the recommendations?
Well,
Not necessarily.
as long as I'm done.
Okay.
No, but recommendations are actually a letter to the council and to management, which would be Brian, so it's not actually part of the audit, but while
Just
you're
want
out
to make
here,
sure,
you
because
see
I
a
don't want
lot
to
of
approve
things.
this and then we go out and buy an automated.
No.
At the airport without it.
It's separate.
Yeah.
I guess, let me rephrase. If y'all block these recommendations, we're gonna start implementing some of these things immediately.
Well, yeah, especially the low cost stuff, but we know the one at the airport is already somewhat astronomical in different places depending on what we've received as far as bids. You know, but it's something to look at and it's something we need, so.
Yeah.
Well, I guarantee I'd never allow cash transactions to take place without knowing where.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they're taking place and what's taking place. I
Exactly.
mean, and that's just not, that's nothing against whoever's doing it.
Right.
It's just, you don't
It's
want-
preventive
you don't want
measure.
to- You don't want to put that person in that pot.
That's exactly what I was saying. It's preventative on both sides of it.
In most of the areas that I looked at, I found no issue as far as suspecting fraud, even at the airport where, it was wide open for that to happen. But that's where the recommendations come in, is to prevent a wide open door for
Right.
somebody to have that opportunity.
Possibilities of it happening.
Unless you can stay here forever, Benita. You gonna stay here forever? Okay, we gotta do this stuff, we gotta stay here forever.
She said she's gonna stay here for another 50 years, though, is what she said.
No, she didn't. Did you hear that? That was a big one. With the crowd.
But I do want to sit there and say they did an excellent job. It's night and day, and so just thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming to Ballinger and sitting down and talking and doing and following up. And, all those things that in my mind an audit should be. So I just want everybody to know I thank you for your hard work.
Thanks.
That's good. I think some of these things are going to have to come around in a different council meeting and look at them. Because some of the stuff, like, I've never looked at the accounting system. Do we have an asset system?
As far as a master spreadsheet of
No, not a spreadsheet. I mean, like, in our, that's something we have to look at. If we're going to manage these assets.
Some kind of inventory.
But that's money too, right? So, we have to look at that also.
Anything else?
No.
That's it?
That's it.
On one picture? Pretty good.
Well,
Maybe you didn't look at the.
Yeah, no, I was looking at the recommendation.
There's no pictures in this.
Oh.
There's some charts though.
Mr. Excel spreadsheet. That's why both y'all, spreadsheet, sitting, both y'all said, no spreadsheet, what?
That's the spreadsheet still fine. Unless there's incorrect formula.
All right, motion to accept the 2016 fiscal year audit report from Gayla Fullerton.
Make that motion.
Have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all very much.
Okay.
That means you stay in touch and work with Anita and Brian. Yeah.
Absolutely. I told her if she had any problems, then to call me. We'll come help. Either one of them.
No, this is her problem.
I don't think I can help with that. I'm sorry.
That's pretty good, Gayla, that was quick.
And now.
And we are gonna head out.
All right, thank y'all very much. Have a good trip home.
Thank you.
Be sure to stop eating there somewhere because we need tax revenue. again.
Okay. We'll do that. Thanks.
Thank y'all.
Very much.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You didn't say that, you just can't.
Oh, wow, you changed this up a little bit, didn't you? A little bit.
Awesome. All right, discuss and take action to approve the plans for Memorial 5K Run. Mr. McDuffie, is this yours?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
So, I just, last year we did the 5K run Memorial Day for Justin Father, and it was great. I know we had a lot of people come from out of town. We had a lot of people from in town participate on, normally a holiday, slow day. We got to come out and show our support for local hero, and I would like to continue keeping it going. If everybody else would. I went ahead and did up a new route that avoids the highways. We start and end at the same location, cure some of the logistics issues we had last year, avoid some
You just ran 3 miles and your car's 3 miles away?
Absolutely. So, a little bit better on that end. It doesn't really interfere with any high traffic areas or anything like that. So,
So basically, we're not in the state involved, it's basically just us and local.
yes, sir.
Awesome. Does anybody have any other questions?
No, there's some dogs down here at this house right here. They're only chihuahuas, but they will come out and get
Come visit
Look
you.
at him.
Actually, it'll just improve times, I think.
What kind of participation did we have last year?
I do not have a hard number because I know a lot of people, they bought shirts and paid, but they didn't actually show up. But I know from talking to Lindsay, they made somewhere around $5,000 for the scholarship.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
So, I mean, it had a very, very, very good support behind it. But I'd say hard numbers, we had at least 300 people run.
Wow.
I mean, the high school parking lot was full.
Wow, that's
So,
awesome.
The school was in session that day, I believe.
no, it was not. It was out, and it will be as well this year. It will already be over, so we won't interfere with anything there.
Motion to
Make a
accept.
motion we approve, the Memorial 5K run for 2017.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Chad,
Thank you,
We're
sir.
gonna have a council challenge. Everybody brings the 5K.
I say,
Texas people aren't allowed to ride math or whatever that's.
I'll put my money on Bob. I'll put my money on Bob. Yeah, my money's on you.
Now, Bob, he can't use a golf cart either. So,
You know, I may be old, Stan. I can hang in there with him, buddy. Put your money in a good place. You don't believe it, ask him.
I'm gonna give Benita a bat, and I'll bet you Brian wins.
Wow.
we're really going
Did you?
bad.
What did it?
I'm just.
All right, discuss and take action to consider approval of mutual aid agreement with West Central Council of Governments. Should have that.
The same one we've had.
This is, basically, yes, it's the same thing we've had with them forever.
Thanks, Chad.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Basically, if there's aid in anywhere inside the Cotton region, we're gonna go help them. If we need help, they come here. It also lets us do access some federal funds for disasters. It's the same agreement we've had.
No changes to it.
Is that how you understand it, Stan?
Yeah. I mean, like, they have a federal FEMA grant that helps with purchasing radios and stuff like that. This falls under the agreement, mutual aid agreement. That way everybody has the same channels if we go help.
Everybody's on the same wavelength, we're not jumping around. Okay. I like that. Any other questions concerning the mutual aid agreement?
I make a motion, we approve the mutual aid agreement with West Texas Council of Governments.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, discuss and take action to consider the acceptance of a bid to sell lot located at 607 North 13th. You need to skip that? Do I table it? No? Oh, okay.
Okay.
We are going to postpone momentarily, and we will jump down to agenda item 10 and hear the police activity monthly report from Mr. Chief. Mr. Chief Stanley Maresch.
Well,
I'm trying to find the paperwork.
I brought Julie up here. Julie is our part-time ACO and has impounded more dogs than we have arrested people in the past 10 years. So, she's doing a wonderful job, and,
Yeah, I've seen those on Facebook.
yeah,
Like, I wonder what happened, because all of a sudden all the jobs are all over Facebook.
no, we're getting more social networking, trying to find the owners of the animals and stuff like that. So, but Billy's doing an awesome job, and, just wanted y'all to see your faces that way. If you have a dog problem, you call her.
You have any issues with citizens?
Not everything that I can handle,
Nothing outside the normal though, is what I mean. Okay.
not yet.
But the furry citizens is all you're dealing with right now? It's all good? The furry citizens is all you're dealing with? It's all good?
It's okay.
It's okay?
She knows where her backup is.
Yeah. What I was gonna say, the kennel's not getting over full with all that you've been doing so far, is it?
It was pushing.
It was
me.
pushing it. It hasn't been that full
We're
before.
pushing this weekend.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I think we had only 1 or 2 empty spots.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But we're finding owners, we're letting them get rabies and city tags and, all that good stuff. I think we've only had, I don't know how many we had to turn over to the Humane Society, but
One today,
one,
right now.
so,
And so,
yeah, we're,
2 more are possibly going to rescue, but the rest of them have owners, whether they appear in court and do what they're supposed to. That's
That's
Is
good.
she gonna transition to full-time staff?
I can't miss, so, I'm waiting.
Is there a fine for? Let the
fine?
dogs roam?
There's,
a dog at large citation or done by complaint form either way. Very
along with an impound fee.
That's what the dog.
They have to pay a fine with the court and, also an impound fee.
You said as far as going to the rescue, does that mean that we've held them past our period? Nobody's claimed them, but rather than putting them down, we're sending them over to rescue? And she's taking care of that?
Either through the Humane Society, and I'm also working with some out-of-town rescue groups that I have connection with. So,
As far as adoption or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, with her past, she has 14 years experience with animal control. She came from San Angelo, which she ran her shelter there. So be
That's
expecting,
why you look familiar.
be expecting, updated city ordinances and stuff like that to get approved and put in our code books so that way we're up to date and we're good to go.
I want to tell you that I've heard nothing but great things about you. Not good things, great things. Every time I've asked Stan's subordinates, how's this working out? And to a man, everybody has said that you're doing a fantastic job. And I know last Thursday, street guys were down there doing some work.
Thursday or Friday? No, Thursday. We were off Friday.
Yeah.
There's been work on the building, and there been some refurbishment in the building.
Little,
Not much.
well, they were
We were planning
cleaning
on-
up and moving couches and probably doing about 3 or 4 years worth of stuff
That needed to be done,
that needed to be done.
so.
Right now I'm working on painting and sealing floors and sealing walls
Yeah,
up.
ceiling floors is whatever.
We went down, they bought them, got 5-gallon buckets. And I say we kind of do.
Can't say no.
You gotta ask them.
So,
Awesome.
thank you for your work. You're doing a great job.
Appreciate you.
Now next, which one do you want to start with?
What do you want?
Where do you
You
want?
want to do the report or you want to do the building?
Do the report and we'll do the
Do
bill.
the report, then we'll do the building.
Okay.
Let me get back to the last page.
Last page is the compilation.
Total amount of arrests, 287 calls for the month of March. 55 citations issued, and a little over $8 grand in court fines. So, a little bit slow, but, soon to be picking up once school's out and everything like that.
On that mileage for that car, is that a little error there?
Probably.
They just went
It
backwards.
went backwards?
Keep going.
Yeah, that one backwards. Yeah, you probably got the number backwards. So,
Cool.
and I have made changes on our hopefully future building. So, running numbers and everything, we were trying to put the evidence locker inside the building, not knowing what the foundation's like and supporting the weight. I think, and Brian agrees, that adding a slab to the existing building would be our best bet. So, that's why we can support the weight we need. But we're looking at cement walls, rebar, all that good stuff. And so without ruining the foundation that we have that we already fixed, just throw a little slab out there and we'll call it good. I've made it to where we can use one of the existing windows, knock out the bottom of it, put a vault door on it, call it good. So, I mean, it takes up a little bit of our parking area in the back, but
Right.
I'm not too worried about that. I don't have 15 cars I need to store back there or anything. So, and gives us a little bit more office space, as you can see. So, and I think in the long run, it's gonna be cheaper doing this than trying to refurbish the inside for an evidence.
I like your record,
Thank you.
the TV with the packaging. It's a breaker.
It's rainy, sunny days, that's all I can do.
If we do it, we guarantee the Cowboys will win.
No.
Xbox is coming out with Scorpio.
I really like the Xbox. Controllers are always backwards.
If you guys are playing Call of Duty, that's just right.
Hey, that's good for one-on-one shooting, it's training exercises, eye-hand coordination.
That is good.
The slab, one of the bids that we got was gonna be about $2,500 to do a flooring slab with rebar and everything.
We have to engineer that slab because the walls are gonna be so heavy.
Do what?
We have to engineer the slab because the walls are gonna be so heavy.
They'll just go with deeper and more footing.
Well, I mean, is it gonna be engineered?
We gotta get the weight on the rest of it. We actually looked at having a vault built and delivered. We didn't like the price, so we're gonna ask for another bid. But we'll get the weight on it, but yes, that would be.
It's the only thing is if you don't get the slab engineered, then you're gonna put a lot of weight on that
right,
thing. So
right.
you just need to know exactly how.
That's why we didn't want to do the one inside, because we just fixed that.
Yeah.
And if we did the one inside, we were looking at probably having to add pillars that we didn't want to have to deal with inside.
I can get Ken just really quick.
It's not hard.
I mean,
Just draw it up, tell you how the piers need to be to support so much weight.
Yeah.
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 That won't be a
You know, we might go to a 6-inch rather than a 4.
Four, yeah.
That's what it says.
Right.
But the slab itself is probably about $2,500. We're thinking a CMU wall, about 8 feet, flat roof, nothing fancy, but secure.
I guarantee if you get the engineer that did that bridge, there's gonna be more rebar than concrete.
All those Mueller trucks, you know.
Well, we don't sell rebar, so.
No, but all those Mueller trucks just drive because you sell so much steel, it's just all
They
constant.
wanted that bridge to be lasting
That thing
at least
was built
75
for
years instead of 50.
I think they're built for tanks, not.
That's good though.
So,
I just wanna get that to y'all's attention,
Thank you, sir.
It looks good.
but I think that's it.
Any other questions?
So Sam, this is gonna be something harder, that's, you have to assemble the evidence room, is that?
It's a possibility. We were looking at different ways of doing the evidence room. There's a company in Houston that actually has 3 locations in the US, and they actually build the vault doors and the vaults. So rather than us trying to recreate the wheel, we were just looking at different alternatives.
cost of that.
It was higher than we cared for it to be at this time.
So all of this will be above the projected 50,000 that was initially presented, is that correct? Wasn't it 50?
about 50 is kind of what we had budgeted in this year.
That this will be above that or under that?
This will be part of that, which is why that vault is probably not going to be feasible to do. The biggest expense of this entire project will be that evidence room.
Right.
And so if we can cut that cost down, I think the second biggest expense will probably be the HVAC. But if we can keep that evidence room at a minimal number, that we can do the rest fairly, I won't say it's cheap, but fairly inexpensive. It's 2 buys and sheet
You
rock.
still think we're gonna come in around 50?
I think we're coming around it, yes, we could. Yes, sir, we might go over 1,000 or 2, but I don't think. If we start approaching that number, you'll see me sweating and you'll see Stan more and more visibly upset.
You're sounding a little like Tommy, but I'll let that be. Rude.
I thought we were friends.
Thank you, Stan.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna jump back up to 9, discuss and take action to consider the acceptance of a bid to sell lot located at 607 North 13th. Where, is that what this drawing was?
No.
No? No, we don't have a drawing, one time for it's at.
Can you bring up 607?
I don't have it on.
Oh, you don't have one.
It's I drove by there, it's over by the bridge on 13th Street.
By the dip.
By the dip.
By the dip.
It's like right adjacent to it.
It's that little pink rock, right?
Yes,
Or the house buried down.
yes.
For what?
Where the house burned down. Can
No.
you pull up Google, can you pull up 607 on Google Earth?
Okay.
I know you don't have it in the slide, but
Let me see if it'll connect. Actually, I don't know who wrote it on here.
It says council agreement.
so it's just weird.
I doubt that's around the block or usually.
No, go the other direction.
Other way.
This way?
Yeah,
Yes.
go up where the dip is. That should be on your left.
That's it.
So is it before the dip going up or after the
Yeah,
dip?
it's right before the dip.
Before.
It's headed towards the high school.
Okay. But I just want to know if it's the left side or the other side. So it's on the left side, that little corner right there?
Somebody wants to buy that lot?
The people that live across the street, that built, that constructed on the house.
Do we have any type of liability because we buried that house there?
You can't build it.
Take that up. We had to take that up.
Oh, we dug it out? Oh, that's what we did, we had to do that. So there's nothing buried there?
What's the bid?
Now, was this behind on taxes or anything?
No,
they couldn't
Isn't this what you said? Did we end up with it because of back there?
There's no letter.
Yeah, there's a letter over there. Is that what you said? There's a letter over. Get a pocket. April 4th, Robert Carrillo would like to submit a bid of $1,000 for 607 North 13th Street, part of 7 Survey 366, what is that, Largen Avenue?
Thomas Lodge Survey. Thomas Lodge, 366.
Okay, there you go.
Is that 1,000 or 6,000? One with
Good
comma.
question, I see the comma, but I see what you're saying where it looks like a 6. Now, if they want to give 6 for that.
Well, even $1,000 for that lot.
Do what?
Well, even $1,000 for that lot.
Yeah, I'm surprised that that's what they offered.
Well, you think it would have been lower?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if every bid
In
we
that
got for any other
location.
lots been lower than that.
Yeah, 200, 300.
Yeah, the location where it's at, yeah, I would have thought it was. Okay.
But Sam, we don't know the appraised value.
I'm gonna say no, unless we checked before.
Corey, go to the CAD's website.
Hold on just a second, I got it on my phone.
He's trying to get it.
He's already,
He's ahead of the game.
60713?
Yes, sir.
Let's see.
and what was this man's name?
Robert Korea.
Robert Correa. And live across the street?
But you're saying they're the two-story house, like a half block down or something?
No,
Okay.
Right across the street with that fence. And they're always parking out there in the street, which I imagine they wanna.
As of last year, it shows $2,090
For
the value
value.
of the land.
Really? I have no problem
Was
with
it,
thousand.
was it an unsolicited bid? Or did we take it?
No, I didn't have that.
Oh,
Been sitting up there for at least 3 or 4 years.
Well, yeah, it hasn't been making any money for any of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Sitting there on bids.
so legally, can we do that, putting it out there? Okay.
Yeah, we've done it before.
Yeah.
But do you need clarification on the reading of that or
Well, I'll let you look at it.
not? That's the one.
Let's see what.
Yeah, one and a comma with it.
Do what?
Oh, that's
One
fun.
and a comma. And if
So
you
if it's
think.
got to be photos, and now then we get something.
Something like that, I might have typed it, so you
When you glance at it, it's like, is that a 1 or 6?
Right.
after you said it, I glanced at it and I said, yeah, I can see a 6 until we looked at it, so. They shouldn't have underlined it.
I'm okay with $1,000.
I don't think anybody's gonna.
Buy that for $1,000.
Hmm?
I don't think anybody's gonna buy that for $1,000.
Or more than that.
Motion for that or? Make a
Discuss and take
motion to accept that bid for 1,000.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, thank you.
Just added $55 to the tax roll.
At least it's gonna make some more money.
Put something on it.
Hey, I'll take it. I'm not.
Awesome. All right, consider approval of the building permits, and you have a good stack. I believe we counted 8.
That's what you know, the economy's doing okay, we have this in the building permit. I like it.
I do. Mr. Corey, you have any comments on any of them?
This next is only they gonna all do this.
All setbacks, everything?
Did Stewart's check bounce?
Terrible. Terrible.
I'm gonna see this $100 clock to read him when he's finished. Say,
I ain't got that far, Bob.
uh,
There it is.
Is now the materials done?
Oh, that's the,
Metal.
yeah, that's the creature.
bottom line, they're better than some of the others. Don't interfere.
I'll make a motion to approve the building permits as presented.
Second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No additional ones, Corey?
I do have a follow-up for Corey. They're building a porch over on,
409 11th Street. It's in the 400 block at the end.
do you know if they have come in for a permit?
Oh, it's not on here?
No.
I have no idea. I saw one was on Steve's desk today, but it just came in today, so we didn't put it in here. I don't know if that was the one.
Is it on 11th Street? You don't know.
Hold on a second. I was looking. No, it's a 1900 block, not. What address was it on what? I can look it up and see if that's the one.
It's the 400 block. It's right across the street from that square stucco house.
Okay. I'll look it up and see if they maybe done it in the past. I don't know.
I don't remember that one, but they're putting a deck out front from the porch. It's new existing stuff.
Right on the corner?
Mhm.
That's Alamos, isn't it?
I don't, is that who that lives there?
I'm thinking so. But I thought they already had a front porch on that house.
It's got a front porch still there. They're building.
Oh, they're adding to it. See, I thought they were replacing the front porch. Okay. All right.
I will get you an answer.
Okay.
Thank you, Frank. All right, here the city administrator's by. Weekly report, please.
Okay, given the late date of the last meeting that we didn't have, that, obviously, you got your financials in here for the month, for the period ending March 31st. We are pretty much in line on budget on a number of issues, on a number of items. I didn't see anything that just got my dander up, but if you see something, I'll be more than happy to address them and or find an answer. The bottom line is we are up. Revenues over expenditures, 411,946. We just got sales tax in last week of 45,000, which is not reflected in here. And so overall, we're doing pretty well. Any questions on financials, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Got a letter in from TxDOT today about our 10th Street crossing and then closing it up. They have called CAFRI, and they will only be adding stop bars at the railroad crossing and then restriping the center and edge lanes as you travel through on 10th Street. So they are not going to put an arm bar or close 10th Street as they proposed in their November letter. And they are continuing to do 158. He kept calling it the Farm to Market Road, which I guess technically that's what it is. So they will do the arm bars over there. They'll put the stop bars up over here on 10th Street and do the center line striping. So all in all, that's going to come out as a positive thing for us. Brent, did you have questions?
Okay, that's what. Oh,
Brent came to me last week. He had put in for a brush truck through the fire service, and we were awarded that. Now it's a little tricky, so bear with me. We are going to have to pay the $20,000 up front, and then the Forest Service, I said fire service, the Forest Service will reimburse us the $20,000. And we will have to get it painted, and that'll be at our expense, but we will get a new brush truck for relatively low cost. I don't know if there's going to be council action on that, But look for that to come up soon, perhaps at our next meeting. We are paving down in the park, and the plan is to get as much of the paving around the swimming pool area done as possible before the pool opens up. Also, I was going to try to have Janet Wilson here tonight, but we're going to do it in May to go through, again, kind of refresh us, everybody, on what we're going to do with the pool, the park, putt-putt, the whole nine. She is putting a staff together. They are going to go get certified, I think, the second week in May in Brownwood. There's a guy over there who will certify all of our lifeguards, and so we'll start that. We'll start that process soon. As Gayla had mentioned in her recommendations, we're going to start cross-training employees this week, which is a good thing because we're going to have a couple of employees going next week to a training with Neptune on our new water meter system, the software system. We pay for all the goodies, and they're going to show them how to make the goodies work. Our collector is back and it's working, and so that is a good thing. And the customer portal will be done soon.
They're supposed to call me this week. I'll be waiting for it.
As we have thus far.
As we have thus far. There's a TML workshop, a TML Region 6 meeting on Thursday in Brownwood. So far, Darlene and Bob are the only ones who have suggested they want to go. Does anyone want to go to Brownwood on Thursday? And eat Underwoods and hear the mayor of Brownwood speak for 25 minutes.
Oh, that's right, here we
I'm
go.
not gonna change my mind.
You've got a much better deal.
Well, we might need security, you know.
Let me know. Make my day free.
There's another workshop, a continuing education class that Darlene and I will be going to next week on the 27th in Austin. Also, one last thing, we received all of our solid waste RFPs in, not this past Friday, but the Friday before. I've gone through those packets. We can either do this as future agenda items and how you want to do it, or we can simply do it now. I can give you guys a copy of the RFP cold and raw, or because there's already questions and clarifications I'm looking for. I'm trying to compare as many red apples to as many red apples as we can. And it's not that hard, but there's some clarification things. One of the vendors has it's a 3-tiered structured system. And so I'm trying to get some clarification from them. But one of them is a guaranteed 3% increase every year. And so I want to make sure that the numbers I'm projecting in year 5 coincide with what they're wanting to do. One of them I can tell you is probably going to be too much. It's simply going to be too expensive. But I'm working on clarifying some of that information. My intent for the May 1st meeting is Stan will not have a report for you compiled on May 1st because May 1st is literally that Monday. So we will move our reports to the 17th, and we can go through the solid waste RFP on that and try to minimize the agenda items. That will be a fairly lengthy meeting because all 3 companies want to come in and present.
You mean May 15th?
No, May 1st is when we will hear from
We'll hear him again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And try to minimize as much as we can. April 20th, this Thursday at lunch, at the request of a number of service providers in town, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, HVAC, we're going to have a meeting here in council chambers to discuss how to give more consumer protections, but in the same way, not run off businesses. And so I've got some suggestions and some ideas I want to hear from those interested parties, but we're going to do that at noon on the 20th. It's not a posted meeting, so if you want to come, let me know, and we'll try to figure out how to get around the Open Meetings Act.
But you'll fill this in.
Yes, I will for that.
People.
You will be in Cancun.
No,
Huh?
I'll be back there for that.
No, it's Thursday.
Oh,
The
it's
20th.
Thursday?
It is this Thursday.
The
Yeah,
20th.
yeah.
You will not be here. So I said, you will not be here.
But whatever recommendations come from that will ultimately need council approval and so on and so forth. I think there's some, I think it'll be an interesting discussion, I'll just leave it at that. And so that is my report. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Brian, when you're talking about the backing up on the brush truck, you use the term new brush truck. What's the $20,000?
For the fire department.
Fire department.
Oh, a new to them.
It's not a new truck.
No. No,
No, it's been in the forestry service.
this is new to them, sorry.
Being passed on down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, no.
It's a used, well-maintained vehicle by the forestry service, and they do the smaller communities where they have to do a grant and give it to them, but you have to pay for it up front and they repay. I think that's how we got the big tanker, the water truck. Yeah, I think that's similar to that, we got that. But you have so many days, once you say yes, you got so many days, you have to retrieve it, they deliver it, and then you have to have it painted, you have to send them pictures and do everything they tell you to do, to change it over to yours. And then they pay you that. So, yep.
Any issues, concerns?
Do the building permits come through Steve?
Yes,
Shouldn't Steve be here?
that
I
would
mean, in
be,
case there are any questions.
my understanding at 4:30 was he was going to be here, so I'll make sure that he's here.
No, I'm asking.
No.
Wouldn't that be the proper procedure on that?
Yes, sir.
In case we have questions about building.
Yes, sir.
I would request myself that he be here.
Yes, sir.
Now, the others may not, but I would, there might be a question about that.
No, I agree. I agree.
Anything else? All right. Here, request for future agenda items from city council. Is there anything else we need to get on the agenda, please? No?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You're good? Wow. Takes a day off, she's good. All right, moving along. The Ballinger City Council should be in executive session as authorized by Texas Government Code Section 551.071 in consultation with city attorney update on alternative water.
Make a motion to go to executive session.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.